Hello, everyone or anyone. Welcome to the program. If anyone is here, if anyone can hear me, that would be fantastic. Hello. Do come in. You know what? Maybe I'll just start the show by myself. We'll give some time for everyone to pile in. Ty is here. Jack is here. Eric is here. MPMD. Sean is here. It's working. I realized what had happened. Bill is here. Richard is here. Have a great Sunday, said Richard. Cheers. I did see, I must say, Bill, I did see your request. Ty said, what's that app? This is why you never download anything you're not 100% sure about. And so what happened with the app, what I'm realizing is that I have a remote webcam. It's like a USB kind of thing. And when I go through the webcam right now, it triggers that app, even though I deleted it. So right now I'm running from my FaceTime webcam that's built into the laptop. That's the only way I seem to be able to do this from my laptop, which is a shame, you know. And here I am alone with all this technology, like a salivagant, you know, wandering this landscape, wondering what has gone wrong. Anyway, I do want to say, Bill, I did see your previous request, and I do want to sing for you The Nights the Light Went Out in Georgia, because I did mention Vicki Lawrence. So here we go. Let me see if I can remember it. He was on his way home from Candletop. Been 2 weeks gone, and he thought he'd stop at Webb's and have him a drink before he went home to her. Andy Wolo said hello. He said, Howard's new, and Wo said, sit down. I got some bad news, and I think that it's gonna hurt. Said, I'm your best friend, and I know what's right. But your young bride, she ain't home tonight since you've been gone. She's been seeing that Amos boy, Seth. Dun, dun, dun. Now he got mad, and he saw red. And he said, boy, don't you lose your head, because to tell you the truth, I've been with her myself. Everyone's nailing this woman for some reason. That's the night that the lights went out in Georgia. Doom, 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 doom. That's the night that they hung an innocent man. Doom, 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 doom. Who don't trust your soul and no backwards lawyer. Doom, 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 doom. Because the judge in the town's got bloodstains on his hand. So Andy, oh yes. Andy got scared and he left the bar, walking on home because he didn't live far. You see, Andy didn't have many friends and he just lost him one. Well, yeah, because everyone's sleeping with his wife. Brother thought his wife must have had left town, so he went home and he finally found the only thing Daddy had left him, and that was a gun. Oh, this is getting very exciting. He went off to Andy's house, slipping through the backwoods, quiet as a mouse, came upon some tracks too small for Andy to make. He looked through the screen at the back porch door, and then he saw Andy lying on the floor in a puddle of blood, and he started to shake. Oh no, what's happening here? The Georgia Patrol was making their rounds, so he fired a shot just to flag him down. A big belly sheriff grabbed his gun and said, why'd you do it? The judge said guilty on a make-believe trial, slapped the sheriff on the back with a smile, said supper's waiting at home and I gotta get to it. Dum, 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 dum. That's the night that the lights went out in Georgia. Dum, 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 dum. That's the night that they hung an innocent man. Dum, 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 dum. Well, don't trust you no soul or no backwards lawyer. Dum, 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 dum. Cause the judge in the town's got blood stains on his hands. It is a very me song. That song was written by Vicki Lawrence's husband, originally for Cher. And Cher was like, you know what? I've done enough of those songs, those like story songs about mystery and intrigue and murder and death and love affairs. So Vicki's like, fuck it, I'll record it. And she had a hit. It was her only hit because she was not really a singer. Let me get through this track because I spent a lot of time on that song. I hope that sufficed, Bill. I don't even think that was the whole song. Clarence said, hi, RJ. Today's the 35th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers. It premiered in Japan before it came out in the US in October. Want to talk about it in Underwear Talk, buddy? I just want to say it's a you, Clarence. It's a you. Neil said it makes you look like you're filming in the twilight hour. It's incredibly dark outside. It's been raining all morning. It looks like it's 6:30. So I'm trying the best that I can do. Bill likes the song. Jessamyn's using the coffee emoji. Well, hi to you. Richard said, RJ, did you like the Murder, She Wrote theme song? Not really. I think they could have done a better job. Val said, how do you know all the words of this? Well, it's one of the great famous trials of our time. Aaron said, this song used to scare me as a child. It is great. It's that classic, like, Southern Gothic business. Casey said, do you know if the Destiny wrestling show is still happening today? Well, I'll tell you something, Casey. When I finish the show, I'm going to get changed and get my druthers together, and then I'm going to go because I'm booked on the show. So if it's not happening, it's going to be a great disappointment to me. It's an outdoor show. It's been raining nonstop all day. I hope they have some sort of tent. And even better than that, before you get your hopes up, I have a little inside track for you. I'm going to be there, but I'm not even booked to wrestle. I haven't wrestled for 6 months. In my first show back, I'm not even booked to wrestle. I mean, I get it. People don't want to see me wrestle, and I don't need to wrestle, but gee, way to fucking rub it in. Clint said, so Casey, I'll see you there, but bring an umbrella. Clincy said, hi there. Again, RJ, how's the gameplay with Jessamyn Duke, and why is it kind of dark in there? It's dark because it's dark outside, and I've tried to light it as best I could, but because I had to switch the cameras where, whatever, this looks like an episode of After Dark. How's the gameplay? Very good. We put up episode 10 yesterday. Both are points of view, and I don't know, maybe Jessamyn will be nice enough to tell everyone in the chat when episode 11 will go up, because we did not beat Streets of Rage 4, so we do, unfortunately, have to try again. It fills us with rage, and I think that's the point of the game. Where did I go? Oh, God, I lost everyone. I was talking for so long. Leo said, who makes that shitty app so I can boycott the shit out of them? The app is called Seriously, MMHMM, which should be your first sign. Leo said, do you have a crush on Francine from ECW? A crush? I certainly did as a young man. She's more of a mentor at this point, and we trade tips about underwear and things of that nature. So, I mean, she has a crush on me. That I know. But that's mainly because I talk about Three's Company and Mr. Roper and that whole thing. She's an Audra Linney fan. Neil said, hair and face looking beautiful as always. The dark lighting works for me. Anthony said, good morning, RJ. Missed you for my birthday Zoom for the Nation show. Did you not get the invite? No, I didn't get the invite. I've been Zooming. I've been on Zoom. I don't know who I've been talking to in the middle of all of this hubbub. I've been there. So just type any random link in Zoom and maybe my face will pop up. So Karia said, good morning, tall face. So Karia looked me up on Tumblr. She typed my name into Tumblr and sent me the things that have come up. And they're very on brand. I don't know if I suggest everyone does it, but whatever. Michelle, I love how you just threw I don't know what that means. Angel says, what's up? Val says, it's not. There's a plot twist. But I remember the Reba cover because I grew up in South Dakota in the 90s. That's a little bold of Reba. Like, that was a song that didn't need covering. Don't think she added too much to her version. Michelle said, oh, I love how the badunk-a-dunk. What? Oh, yes. Badunk-a-dunk. Well, yeah, I like to sing all the instruments as well. Steve said, I still think me buying an RJ City shirt and you spill your favorite coffee and autograph in it is a phenomenal idea still. It'll cost you a pretty penny. Ty said, so wrestling in the rain? Fun. I've done that multiple. Was David in the chat before? Is he still here? Or is he confused? He's probably confused. It's a shame. Has anybody here seen my old friend David? Oh, David Leonard's here. I don't know about the other David. Jessamyn Duke said episode 11 goes up at 11 a.m. on my channel. So go click on her channel. It's her point of view. So you can see her being annoyed by my impressions. Neil said, hey, if anyone can be here and Twitter at the same time, retweet his new link. If not, just hang around. We're doing okay. I think people are figuring it out. Usually they click and then they'll see you live. Jessamyn said, Duke City plays and use the apropos, do the moves emoji. Casey said, bringing a first-time wrestling viewer, what a treat for her to see a moist RJ City. Well, I would have been that way regardless of the weather. Anyway, the weather. I got these wonderful hip black Armani, and they are shorts, but they're short. So they can easily look like they're not. which is fun. I think they're very, very hip. Let's get pouring. Let's get pressing and pouring. So I would like to get into this today. I think it's going to make me feel a lot better. I've had a stressful time so far, and I need it already. Do you know what I'm saying? There we go. The castle lights are growing dim. There's no one left but me and him. When next you return to Frightenstone, don't come alone. There we go. We'll give it a second to settle. Let's talk to everyone. Steve said, I think Danhausen summoned that app from hell to piss you off. The problem is that now the webcam, and now I got to email these people again and figure it out, and it's terrible. Val said, did anyone else lose the stream? Ty said it died. Why did it die? I'm still here. People are talking, maybe. Nail said, my stream is fine unless I'm delayed, but I'm cool. Well, you don't seem to mind. You could just play an old episode and type along like you're involved. Bill said, love the banter with Duke about funny names. The funniest I ever heard was Mr. Scrotumberg. Any other weird or wacky names that I have seen or heard? Well, I mean, Lawrence Diarrhea makes me laugh every single time. I remember we had a supply teacher when I was a kid called Miss Rosinka. And on the board, she drew a rose plus a bottle of ink plus an A, the letter A, equals, and then she drew herself as a stick figure. And I just remember thinking, your name's not that hard to pronounce. Rosinka, I got it. I don't need this whole explanation. So you can relax. She was a sweet gal. Leo said, RJ lost his self-e-stream. That was bad. Sorry. Yes, it was. Clint said, did your hair grow? It did. And I got to get a cut. It's too long. Brandon said, oh, I missed a hip message from Brandon. Where the hell did it go? Oh, I'm way back on this thing. Oh, and David is here. Brandon said the debate between Mr. Roper and Mr. Furley, the real champion is Mrs. Roper. Agreed completely. It's an apple and oranges comparison. David Arquette figured it out. Does anyone else have a Pavlov's dog poop response to this show? I think it's the coffee. So every time David watches me, he has to go to the bathroom. And while he's wiping, I'd like to plug his documentary, You Cannot Kill David Arquette, available now, digital on demand, and where all videotapes are sold and rented. So there's a Blockbuster or something. They'll have a little VHS. It'll be sweet. Eric said, Duke has a channel? Of course. Clincy said, is there still bulletproof in your coffee? Yes. When I get through this, I'm gonna make it. Sean said, here's a question I already know the answer to. Any interest in any of the NFL games tonight and tomorrow? Sean, if you didn't tell me that, I would not even know that there were any NFL games tonight or tomorrow, which should give you your answer. I do like to see what things sound like with so little fans in there, because some of them will have fans, some of them won't. Like I enjoyed watching the beginning of baseball just to see what it's like with no fans. Jasmine said, the weather, and I'm not going to respond. I guess we all are. Ty said, Eric, yes, she does. Do check it out and hang out with us over there. Yes, everyone migrates. This is like doing a pub crawl. And you come here for your first drink, and then you'll go there for the other drink. Clincy said, someone was here before like a month ago. Where is he, though? Tom said, good morning, RJ. I've been watching Second Backyard on the Left, and I love it. Any insight on how that project came about? No, because it's really not mine. It's done by Vaughn Vertigo, put the whole thing together, with a bunch of wrestlers in Ontario, and then got me and Nug for that episode, or that string of episodes, to do commentary or announce or do throws, whatever the hell it was. And it took us about an hour, and we did it, and that was it. Happy to be a part of it. I have no other insight about it other than my own general idiocy. Poe Girl says, what are you wearing today? I thought we did this, but I'm wearing George here, Imperial Armani. This is like when Giorgio gets fancy. And they're fun, and they're hip, and they're black, and they're simple, because I'm a simple person. Steve said, my buddy just asked, why are you watching Jay White in YouTube? He's officially outside now. Well, what am I going to do? Eric said, my stream is fine. Nail says, how many times will it take turning up to a show and be given a Cobb salad before you get sick of Cobb salads and move on to something else? Here's the secret, Nails. I don't really eat them. I just say thank you, and then I dump them in the garbage. Jordan says, present. Jordan Patrick, present. Thank you. And then I will write it down, and you take the attendance to the office. Richard said, RJ, what's the point of playing the Monopoly video game when you can play the board game? Well, you don't lose the pieces when you play the video game. Jessamine said, Mrs. Hosteletter was my music teacher in grade school. She was mean, but her name always made me laugh. Oh, Mrs. Hosteletter. Neil said, I know Sean roasted for having technical difficulties despite mine working. How does he do it? I feel scolded regardless. It's great. Sky said, I had a teacher named Mrs. Turcotte or Turcotte, and she said it's like turtle and apricot. So it is Turcotte. What's in the name anyway, right? Yes, very exciting objects she used. Very exciting. That was her big trepidation with becoming a teacher. Yay, Lawrence diarrhea was my contribution. Now, Leo, I have to tell you something. You spelled Lawrence differently the last time. You spelled it L-A-U-R-E-N-C, and to me, that's even funnier. Val said, I knew a guy named Guy White. Poor fella. Very average. Snail said, the only thing I watch in the NFL is the funny lip-reading videos they make at the end of the season. Leo said, I had a teacher called Mrs. Bonus Smith. Sound like Mrs. Boner Smith. Well, of course it did. Bill said, so Mama's Family had a fairly short run. Was there any other TV shows that had too short of a run? Well, the first version had a very short run, but the second version, syndication only, had a pretty decent run. Was there any shows that I liked that I didn't think, not really. You know what? I was surprised. I watched Fawlty Towers about a year ago, and I was surprised in England they have very short seasons, and I was surprised at how few episodes there actually were of that show. But that makes every episode like incredibly tight the whole time. Ty wants, the 59th Street Bridge song by Simon & Garfunkel, also known as Feeling Groovy. Slow down, you move too fast, you got to make the morning last, just kicking down the cobblestones, looking for fun and feeling groovy. Feeling groovy. Hello, lamppost, what you knowin'? I've come to watch your flowers growin'. Ain't you got no rhymes for me? Tweet and doo-doo, feeling groovy. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Feeling groovy. I got no deeds to do, no promises to keep. I'm dappled and drowsy and ready to sleep. Let the morning time drop all its petals on me. Life, I love you, all is groovy. Da-da-da-da-da. Da 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 da. That was Feeling Groovy, the 59th Street Bridge song by Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel. Ty said, my favorite Simon and Garfunkel song. I loved it as a little kid. Well, I'm happy to provide you such nostalgia. Leo said, would you rather be yelled at by Bob Holly like an angry phys ed teacher or watch Virgil pee into a beer can and drink it? Bob Holly seemed really cool when I was on a show with him. So I'm going to take Bob because Virgil, we're good. Neil said, I just slow clapped you throwing away the salads. You truly are a heel. Steve Scott said, watch the Arquette film on Amazon. It was amazing, deep, and inspirational. Well, that's questionable. Are you working for the team? Though it had me asking this question, when wrestlers go into acting, it's no big deal. Yet when an actor steps in the ring, because it's usually a poor choice in general. It's just not well advised. And also, it would be like if I just got this small film and then immediately won an Oscar. You know what I mean? He kind of unfairly cut to the top in the beginning. But he learned, and also, let's be honest, wrestling is, by the mainstream, often looked down upon. It's not the wisest choice. Yet, good and bad, David is not necessarily the wisest person, so here we are. Bill said, Fawlty Towers had 2 seasons with 3 episodes each. Each season was also like 2 or 3 years apart, too. It was a very tight show for sure. I mean, you need, I guess, that much time to make something good. Kevin Bauman said, did you see Puff's 20 seconds on AEW and that Daniel Garcia and Kevin Blackwood are going to be on AEW Dark? Yes. What do you want from me, Ken? What do you want me to do about it? We can all walk out. We can all have matches. I'm providing you a service here. Terry said, morning. What about Welcome Back Kotter? I think it had enough episodes for how good it was. Leo said, Snooki got way too much love and respect for doing a somersault at WrestleMania. That's for sure. Steve said, is there any rumor to you originally being the librarian in AEW before Peter Avalon? That's not true at all. I was actually supposed to be the receptionist, and I would be at the front desk. Wrestlers would be trying to make their entrance, and I'd say, and you are? And I'd have to write their name down on a list. But it never panned out. The production side of it couldn't keep up with me. Let's make let's do the Better Coffee straight away. I have a hankering for it today. Here we go. Nail said, I feel that poor Puff was forgotten because of Miro. First of all, I would say Puff had the better outfit, even though it was decidedly less expensive. And I think he would have been the better best man. Dare I say he was the best man. There we go. Do I want, you know what? I'm going to leave it just nice and chunky like this. It's how I like it. I have 2 packs of stevia here. And there we are. Ta-da. Et voila. Neil said, Ariel from the Nobodies did a great librarian audition. Yeah, I don't audition for these things. If they want me, they can come and get me, as Rodney Dangerfield once said. My father never took me to the zoo. He said, if they want you, they'll come and get you. Not when I remember. I was a boy. When I was a boy, I was so poor. I was so poor when I was a boy. The only thing I had to play with was myself. Richard said, RJ, so you're not wrestling this month? I'm booked on this show, but not to wrestle. I have no match to promote, nothing. So, like, at this point, it's the promoter's fault. So blame these companies. And don't ask me why I'm not, because it's their money. They're booking it. So David said, I don't audition, RJ City. Do I need to audition at this point? I feel like you should be able to read my Twitter, and if you like it, that's who you're going to get. So you might as well get used to it. I auditioned horribly, and I once was told I was too handsome for a role I read for, and I was crushed. Didn't even feel good. I was crushed. I auditioned pretty consistently for a number of years and hated it. Really, really hated it. Hated going into a room and seeing people that were kind of in my wheelhouse who were dressed similarly to me. It was not my bag. Saying lines of shit that I didn't even like the writing of anyway. So it's like, why am I even bothering? Like, just give me the money. And then the ones I got, I didn't even walk out of the room going, nailed it. I felt just as bad. And they called me and they're like, oh, you got it. Bill said, nails, the hair is great. Only needs a small trim. I gotta do the sides here. There's always that in-between time where the hair sucks and it goes awesome. Yeah, when you get that fresh cut, you know. David said, let me know when you've auditioned for 30 years. I know, it's miserable. I'm telling you, you should stop too. It's too much. Have you ever thought about wrestling? It's some of the like worst times I've ever felt about myself was when I've been auditioning. It's horrible and miserable. I didn't like it at all. And then they make you get these headshots, which were obscenely expensive. And then you go with your little bag ready to give them the headshots. And they're like, we have it on file. It's a computer thing now. I'm like, what the fuck did I spend all this money on? Why did I have to put on a dress shirt and have a French guy take my pictures? Nail said, you should be available for parties if you can be hired in a non-wrestling capacity. I'd even wrestle at a party at this point. I think I have. Nell said, I can't imagine being such a fool for you. What? I don't understand. Nels, reword it, please. Steve said, I think Twitter and the RJ City YouTube show is audition enough. That's what I thought. Katie said, do you think you could host an episode with John Tory in the new $14 million quarantine facility? I would love to do that. I'd love to take a tour of the grounds. Maybe there's a garden. That would be a great web series. OSWF said, don't worry, Ron Funches is going to put in a good word for you for a good role. Yeah, I have faith in him. If he's as smart as he is funny, then we're really fucked. Terry said auditioning is very soul-sucking. David said we're too sensitive for this world. Damn straight we're too sensitive. When I was younger, my mother suggested that I should do some modeling and took some pictures of me, and we sent them to these places, and we had this meeting in New York, and they told me my shoulders were too big. What am I supposed to do about that? Shave them off? You can't lose weight in your shoulders. And I was just like, auditioning is always like looking for acceptance from people I don't respect anyway. And it's like, it's almost a no-win situation. Bill said, what would be my dream role to audition for? The dentist in Little Shop of Horrors. That one I'm like, let's go. But I've had a few auditions where I'm like, I like these people. They're people I know and I enjoy their work, or I like the show and I'm like, let's do this, and I'm excited. And then it doesn't work and I just hate myself. So you're either going to hate yourself or you're going to hate other people. It's enjoyable. Leo said, are you going to get that long hair with shaven sides back look like the Pac Matt Hardy had and about 10,000 other wrestlers? I never had that look. It was never shave. It's because it's very long and then it gets like wispy and annoying. I understand why it's the look. It's very practical. Sean said, watching the show Barry put a pretty dark spin on the whole audition process, and like the back rooms of Hollywood in general, even the front rooms are not so scrupulous. David said, Nail said, is David done with wrestling? If so, why not try the manager-wrestler dynamic backwards? RJ is the wrestler but has the big mouth and cuts the deals, and David's the manager and quiet and does as he's told. David actually managed me and Colt Cabana twice. And I think he's got that in his future because he has the right outfits to be a manager. And I'll be his protege. Poe Girl said, I stopped local entertainment many years ago because it was more than soul-sucking. And then you have nothing left. Sean said, oh, whoa, Ron Funches has heat? Scoops? It's not scoops. We feuded on Twitter. Katie said, your shoulders are too broad for this broad. That's for sure. Pogo said you were too handsome tomorrow. Thank you. Steve said the Q&A between RJ City and John Stamos would be amazing. Book it, someone. Just get more narrower shoulders. They'll say, Sean, this is a very scathing to Ron. It makes me squirm. Where's the banana pants pictures? Oh, I can't. I have looked and I can't find them. I'll keep looking. SM said, what a curse to be too handsome. Eric said, trap pants. Katie said, would you consider playing a dentist in a wrestling homage to Isaac Yankem? I'd consider it. Clint said, Gardez, votre style déversement, and he's speaking French and he's lost me. Nicholas said, acting is full of hate. So is a lot of things. Tom said, out of curiosity, what did you have to do to get the Cynical Crafter done? Well, I was already working on a show there, and they suggested that we come up with an idea for me. My own thing, and I pitched multiple things that were met with deaf ears, and finally, I said, well, I don't know what the fuck do you want from me as a craft? Maybe I'll do a craft show. And they said, you're cynical. You're so cynical. And I said, well, there you go, Cynical Crafter. That's it. And that was it. And we only did 2. They said we only wanted to do 2 episodes, so I did 2, and then they did well. They did very well enough to do whatever we did, 25 or 26. But then it got all hooked up on the Facebook number scam. I wish it was all on YouTube. I wish they were a little more forward-thinking technologically, but I'm not going to get into it. Right now, Naomi is here. And Naomi, I just did a cameo for, which I just sang to you already. Please sing a chorus line. I hope I get it. Oh, my God. I can't remember. I need this job. Is that how it goes? I need this job. No, now I'm singing Unchained Melody. I need this job. That's all I remember. But I will sing this from a chorus line. Naomi, I'll meet you in the middle. Kiss today goodbye and forget about tomorrow. We did what we had to do. Can't forget, won't regret what I did for love. What I did for love is to say goodbye. The sweetness and the sorrow, As it went and so did you. Can't regret, won't forget what I did for love. What I did for love. I hope that sufficed, Noemi. David said, I could be your pallbearer. Well, you certainly have the mustache. Richard said, RJ would be great in a shampoo commercial. Neil said, I still want to know why David has a giant hot dog in storage with his wrestling robes. And that's one of his robes. He was going to be the Wiener Man. And he was going to come out and say, who wants a brat? But it never really got traction. Major said, how are there 65 people watching and only 13 likes? What an abusive crowd you have here. They're a tough crowd. Please like the video. Jesus. Manpreet said, morning, RJ. Are you going to be at the Destiny show today? It would be great to see half your face due to wearing a mask in person. Well, don't put the mask over your eyes. Then you won't be able to see any of my face. I will be at the show. To reiterate, one, it's an outdoor show and it's been raining all day. Two, I haven't been booked to wrestle. So maybe ask the promoter why I'm not wrestling. Seems very bizarre. I get it. People don't want to see me wrestle, but you can already see me do this. Look, I don't know. I'm going to be there. I'll be the one banging my head against the wall. Katie said, what about the casting couches of Hollywood? Yes, what about them? I like a good old-fashioned futon. Bill said, David, that means all the profits will have to go to more black eyeliner. You're very, very fastidious, Bill. Thank you. Nail said, RJ always tells us photos exist and then he can't find them, except the double denim at the fairground, which was a charm. See? But those photos are old, like they're physical photos, or I think they're on like PC I don't have anymore. Nicholas said, anyone going to see RJ do something at the Destiny show today? Well, apparently some people are. I'll certainly be a draw by not wrestling. Dear Lord. Where did I go? Steve said, would you ever consider a role as a musician in a show or a movie? Think you'd nail that look considering you sing well? Sure. I don't see why not. Well, I'm not going to say no now. Neil said, Nicholas, I think that's where Sabrina is going, but she left the chat to do real life things. That's fair. And she did say she would see me there. So a couple of people are coming. Ty said, right now, so many pictures he uses. Katie said, can you pitch hosting a new version of Did You Ever Wonder What Can Happen Under the Umbrella Tree? For those of you who don't know, Under the Umbrella Tree was a Canadian children's show, and it was this woman whose roommates were an iguana puppet, a blue jay puppet, and a little girl who I think was a gopher or a ferret or something. And then they all hung out together. That was pretty much it. I don't know what she did for work. I don't know how they paid rent or how they owned the house. Maybe she had a wealthy mother who had her when she was very old and then got very sick. Should inquire about that. Casey said, do you think you'll be the last person ever to bump for Santino Marella? I have a feeling that Santino Marella will make another person bump today. Whether it be me or not, I hope not, because I already did it like a month ago. He'll bump people again. Will he take another bump? I don't know. Dixie said, good morning, RJ and everybody. Dixie's here. Hello to you. Clincy is here. Clincy is leaving. Nicholas said, I'm on the fence, Nails. I might go. I know. It's weird because everyone wants to be back to normal and start having shows again, but even what we can do right now is not. So it's unusual. So you can't going, everything will be just like it was. It will be nice to see everybody. It will also be incredibly weird, but this is the world we are living in. Neil said, who wants a brat? I'm done. My day is peaked. SM said, I have a hot dog costume, and I tell people to ask me about my wiener when I wear it like Jonah Hill did in the movie Accepted, which I've never seen, and I will continue not to. Katie said, RJ is not booked to wrestle this afternoon. He's booked to river dance in the rain. No, I'm booked to sing in the rain. I'm singing in the rain. You know, Singing in the Rain, that song is about 75% dancing. Should really be dancing in the rain. For as much singing as he does more than twice the dancing. SM said, what type of eyeliner is included for $24.99? Pencil, felt, or brush tip? Pencil. I think the pencil stays on better when you're wrestling. That's my experience. Dixie liked the video already because Dixie cares. Neil said, wait, so what will you actually do at the show? For real? Are you being hired to stand around and be handsome? Isn't that what I made my name doing, Neil? What exactly I'm doing? Not quite sure, but so far not wrestling yet. There could always be a possibility that shit gets changed around and I end up wrestling. That's the way indie shows are. It's really the Muppet Show. So who knows? But so far, it's not in the cards. Richard said, terrible booking if that's the case. Give the people what they want. But maybe nobody wants to see me wrestle. I always hear, you're my favorite wrestler that I've never seen wrestle. So maybe that's what people want. To not see me wrestle. Maybe that's the appeal. Bill said, what were some of the other Saturday, Sunday morning cartoons you watched as a kid? I loved Gargoyles. I thought Gargoyles was fantastic. I loved Street Sharks. My brother loved Street Sharks. Biker Mice from Mars. The Toxic Avengers. I liked the Ghostbuster cartoon that they did a very, very good job with. Of course, Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling, which I have on VHS. And I will reiterate again, David's father, Lewis, was the voice of Superfly Jimmy Snuka. The voice of Hulk Hogan was Brad Garrett. Everybody loves Raymond. And the voice of Junkyard Dog was James Avery, who was Uncle Phil on Fresh Prince. Nicholas said, that's a great idea, Nails. Maybe I'll make some sort of clever sign. Aaron said, Gloria Gopher from Under the Umbrella Tree. Thank you, Aaron. I was wondering what could happen under the umbrella tree and who that girl was. And it was Gloria Gopher. David, with the most simple, basic sentence I've ever read in my life. I have a hot dog sign because I like tin signs and hot dogs. Why question it? Why go deeper? Why conduct a psychological examination of why he has them? He has them because he likes to have them. End of list. Optimus said, good morning, RJ. Optimus is Tony Randall's voice. Have you come up with a dance routine for your entrance? I'm thinking Fred Astaire. Well, yeah, I'm going to be singing and dancing in the rain. As long as it's raining. If it's not raining, then I'm fucked. Eric said, what's an umbrella tree? Is it an umbrella or is it a tree? No, it's a tree that opens like an umbrella, you know? It's just the shape of it. But so many things can happen under it. Val said, I used to watch Under the Umbrella Tree on Disney when I was a kid. Nail said, Nicholas, how about do not follow this man. He doesn't lead a cult with a big arrow pointing to RJ while you just boo really loudly. Perfect. Casey said, my girlfriend would like to request your favorite Celine Dion. Well, I'm not going to sing anything because I don't have one. Richard said, do you like trance music? Yes. I love when they do the watch. And I'm like, oh, my God. Yes, master. Katie said, can you and David Arquette record and make new music for the video of Dancing in the Street? We're going to do Dancing in the Dark. Eric said, who wrestles an eyeliner? Hulk Hogan does. Nicholas has okay, this isn't a song request, but this is a wonderful turquoise tribute nonetheless. Street Sharks was my favorite show as a kid. Killamari, which is, again, a hilarious name, was the best villain of all time. But didn't they also on that show, and maybe I'm just thinking of Biker Mice from Mars now, I'm thinking of Limburger. A man named Limburger. He was a businessman, and he took his mask off, and he had a fish face. Wasn't that him? That was probably him. That was a shame. No, Street Sharks was great. I don't understand why there hasn't been a video game. I don't understand why there hasn't been a reboot of sorts. I mean, you would think for every 5 fucking reboots Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have, you would do Street Sharks at least once. You know what I mean? Dixie said, I want to see you wrestle. That would be awesome. Well, thank you, Dixie. Nail said, I want to see you in the ring rolling your eyes at the babyface before kicking them in the nuts and leaving. Wrestling, I don't mind. Val said the lady's name was Holly in Under the Umbrella Tree. Yes, Val, it was. It was. It's all coming back to me now. Next week, we'll do today's special. Leo said the dad from Everybody That Loves Raymond is horrid, but very well played by Peter Boyle, who, of course, was the monster in Young Frankenstein. Aaron said, I love both Pro Stars, the cartoon starring Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky, and Bo Jackson, and also Pro Stars Cereal. They must have had a hell of a licensing deal. I remember seeing I feel like at the Hockey Hall of Fame, they had like a Pro Stars exhibit. Wayne just opened his garage and he's like, just take whatever the fuck you want. Optimus said James Avery also voiced Shredder on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon, and Super Shredder was played by Kevin Nash. So we finally closed the loop. Bill said, funny, they never used the real voices for rock and wrestling. Well, who would be the best actor? Okay, so the reason that they never used the full voices in rock and wrestling is because the touring schedule was insane and the money was probably really good and union. So I don't think they wanted any of the wrestlers to do it. But Tony Thaxton, the guy who does Bizarre Albums, it's his wonderful podcast, did the research on one of the wrestling albums that Hillbilly Jim sang on. And Hillbilly Jim's schedule was so crazy at the time that he recorded the one cut of the song in one city and finished it in another city. So I think it was very hard to nail down those people. Katie said, if your mama can't dance, then your daddy can't rock and roll. My uncle plays Zydeco, though. Eric said, Canada is weird. Sean said, I don't understand how there hasn't been a video game. What now? You mean you can't believe there wasn't a Super Nintendo port? Fair enough. Neil said, can you sing All the Reasons You Love David Arquette? That's one of my favorite songs off that old 70s album. It's kind of got that hippie or alternative rock thing. One of my favorites. I'll never forget it. So I'm going to sing it for you now. Here are all the reasons I love David Arquette. Here are all the reasons that he makes me wet. He's a fun guy. He's got a nice beard, wonderful shoes, and a wonderful beard. Here's all the reasons I love David Arquette. Here's all the reasons that he makes me wet. He's got a big chair and he sits on it and mopes. He's got a nice backyard that he gardens a lot. He likes hot dogs and tin signs. He likes to wear shoes that are various eccentricities. Here are all the reasons I love David Arquette. Here are all the reasons, and don't you forget. But sometimes I don't like him. Yes, that's true. Sometimes I don't like him, and so do you. Because he can be in many ways. A 12-year-old in a 48-year-old man's body. Here are all the reasons I love David Arquette. Here are all the reasons, and don't you forget. He's got a nice family also as well. He's got a bunch of dogs, can't you tell? Here are all the reasons I love David Arquette. Here are all the reasons. Let's capture him in a net and take him to the house and sit him down and say, stop doing things, just have a nap now. That is, here are all the reasons I love David Arquette. It's a faster song than I remembered, but once he starts singing, it just takes off. Val said, I love today's special. I watched it on Nickelodeon when I was a kid. For a while, I thought I was the only one because nobody else remembered it. That guy, the dancing mannequin guy, Jeff Hislop, went on to be the Phantom of the Opera in the Canadian version on Broadway. Katie wants to know if Bono's nothing. Eric said, Jawsome? Yes, indeed. Sean said, wait, you've probably answered this, but do you have a SAG card? No, I don't. I'm in ACTRA, which is the Canadian equivalent. It's literally the exact same thing. It's just Canadian. SM said, will you be watching the Tracy Ellis Ross recast One Night Golden Girls reboot? Now I think I'm good. I think it's a soft run because if it does well, they're going to try to pitch a real reboot, and I'm really not in the mood. Jessamine Duke with a wonderful song request says, please sing Who Purrs by the infamous R.J. Kitty, a famous folk musician. He would do the coffee houses in Greenwich Village and things of that nature. I love that song. It reminds me of I used to listen to it on the radio. I'd be cruising down the highway. Yep. Okay, here we go. One of my favorites, Who Purrs. Do you hear it? I hear it now. Do you hear it? Could it be a cow? It's a sound. It's a kind of vibration. It's a sound that has a wonderful sensation. Do you hear it? It's something I heard. Did you hear it? Could it be a bird? It's not. Okay, I got it now. It's not, and I'll tell you why. That purring sound is not coming from the sky. It's coming from that thing that's sitting on your hat. It's coming from that thing that's called a cat. Listen to it purr, listen to it purr. Who purrs? She does. Yes, she purrs. Yes, she purrs. Isn't it wonderful and not a pity? A smaller cat is also known as a kitty. Listen to her purr. Who purrs? She purrs. You purr? I purr. You purr? I purr. You talk? I'm a talking cat. Yes, I am. I'm a talking purring cat. Yes, I am. I've been sitting here for years and no one has asked me. I've been sitting here for years, but now you will pay because I also walk around. I also can hold down a job. I've been working steady for a number of years. I've had a side job, but I've told no one. I'm a walking, talking, purring, working cat. I'm a walking, talking, purring, working cat. And you will all be replaced when cats take over the world. That was Who Purrs. And it's, you know, it's a normal folk thing, and then it takes that dip, like sharp turn there. It is something else. David enjoyed the song, and he said, I love you too. And he has a laughing pear emoji. Sean said, here's all the reasons he makes me wet. I threw my iPad. Neil said, I'm crying. That was beautiful. Nicholas said, David makes RJ moist. That's confirmed, but it's so wet outside today. Sabrina is here. She said, David, did you make him wet? It's already wet. Poe Girl said, David Arquette always looks amused. I like that about him. Bill said, I will be singing the David Arquette song all day now, dear Lord. Kate said, what about Bret Hart as the genie in Aladdin? He was. It was a Toronto Christmas production. I don't know how or why, but he did it. Richard said, have you ever met a Canadian with a bad temper? Yes, a bunch. It's a stereotype, which means it's not entirely true. Pangela's grandma said, oh, heck, I finally clicked on the right live stream. Aaron has a crying cat emoji. SM said it's coffee time. Katie said Heathcliff or Garfield. To hell with Heathcliff. Garfield all the way, and I don't even like Garfield. We all purr. Plot twist, like Sean, the cat speaks. Oh, this song did take a dramatic turn. Everyone's shocked by the turn. Oh, there's a question about Eartha Kitt. Where did it go? Eartha Kitt or Julie Newmar? Oh, as an actress overall, Eartha Kitt. But as Catwoman, Julie, for sure. David said, oh, that was great. Terry said, many years ago, I was cast as Don John in Much Ado. Have you ever done any Shakespeare or played at Stratford? I have not played at Stratford. I did do some scenes. I was Hamlet, unfortunately, in high school. It was not very good. Shakespeare was not my bag. Again, as I said previously earlier in the stream, I don't audition. Bill said, RJ, you really need to put out an album of all your greatest hits. Neil said, you're the greatest. Thank you. Nicholas would buy that album. Aaron said, was your picture this week with Julia or Sylvia? My picture was with Sylvia. That was Sylvia. I got her on the floor, and obviously she was not thrilled about it. Katie said, Thundercats have taken over the world. Well, that was the theme from the movie, but it was never produced, even though the song was released. Nicholas said that was an absolute banger of a tune. Ty said, hey, Angel Osario. Katie said, have you been speaking moistly? I have. It's very damp and muggy right now. It's going to be that heavy, wet air that's kind of like a steam room. Do you know what I'm saying? Neil said, how is everyone managing to type and think? I'm still crying, laughing. Angel said, what's up, bro? How are you? You've missed a lot. I've just bared my soul and my cats. Ty said, oh, shit, I was right. It was Sylvia. Richard said, RJ just crashed the wrestling event and started singing in the middle of the ring. That's what I do anyway. Leo said, do you think there's a parallel universe where David Arquette got the lead role in a tepid 2005 rom-com Hitch instead of Will Smith? Yes, and I think the negativity canceled each other out, and it was probably a hit. Katie said, the closest RJ has gotten to Shakespeare is watching the DiCaprio version of Romeo and Juliet. That's the one with John Leguizamo? That's the best one. Pinless Grandma said, wait, I missed RJ showing off his kitten? No, I meant metaphorically. Bill said, have you switched back to regular coffee yet instead of just cold brew? No, because it's still kind of hot. It's not cold yet. It's just not hot anymore, if that makes any sense. I've had no need to heat up. SM said, wondering if David remembered which Bryan Adams music video. I I can't remember who sent it to me, but I'm going to look it up right now. It was called Victim of Love by Bryan Adams. And you can literally just see David's back and his jeans at like 1:15 for a split second. So be vigilant, right? I think he, let me look. Yeah, you can just see my jeans at 1 minute and 15 seconds. You'll be able to see David Arquette's on-screen denim debut in Victim of Love by Bryan Adams. Leo said, what about Steven Seagal's version of Macbeth? There was too much kicking. Sabrina said, I'm in a work meeting, but instead I'm watching the stream. Nobody works anymore. Michael said, Lee Merriweather, I met her, and she was delightful. And her daughter is a successful stunt performer, too. They're both wonderful. I told her I had a crush on her, and I made her choke. Neil said, well, RJ, you could have tweeted the video for us instead of making us wait. Somebody tweeted it to me, and I wrote it was confirmed. Sorry. I should have tweeted it out to everyone. I apologize. You'll enjoy it, though. Okay, I got to make my other one because we're almost all those wonderful songs today. They've been a hoot. This is maybe this is a medium. I think my nose, I'm becoming that connoisseur like those assholes who drink the wine. You know, a sommelier. Is there a name for a coffee? A coiffier? A caffeinateur? I think that would be a great term. I would like to become a caffeinateur. Okay. I got this nice water from a non-problematic company. There we go. We're getting it all wet. It's a lot harder. You'll see the beans really the grounds seem to maintain their integrity a lot more this way. That's why you have to keep them over time. There's a real long, drawn-out fight between the water and the grounds. We're going to let that sit. Let's see, what else are we talking about? Katie said, do you think you and David could remake the video with Bryan Adams and Mel C? I would love to, just without Bryan Adams, that's for sure. Dixie used the appropriate emoji. Richard said, RJ, have you ever done CrossFit? I've worked elements of it into my workouts, but I'm not like the cult. Like, I don't have a need to belong to a group. So no, not really. It's also too much. Casey said, do you watch AEW or NXT first? Actually, I watch a couple episodes of The Mothers-in-Law starring Kay Ballard for 2 hours and Eve Arden. I get through like 4 episodes in 2 hours. Sabrina said, see you soon. I'm pissed you're not wrestling, but whatever. Also, Sabrina, it's not my show. I don't make the calls. Please complain to the appropriate people. Pando's grandma said, you can see blurry, full body, 17-year-old David at 257 of the video. Oh my God, I didn't know about 257. David said, RJ is a big squatter. I am a big squatter. Both, if you dig a hole in the ground, I will be right over it. SM said, caffeinateur is the coffee version of Rock on Tour. Love it. Neil said, wait, what mug does he have? This is an old classic. I've had it before. I thought we've had so many novelty mugs on the show. Jessamyn's mug, which you can buy at ProWrestlingTees.com/JessamynDuke. This is a brown one, but I like it because it's wide here, but yet it's thin at the bottom and easy to hold, so I don't have to cram my whole face into the opening, which I've done before, and it's made me a lot of friends. Katie said, has David ever been to Comet Pizza and played ping pong? David said, no, I have not had comments. Well, this is the kind of a hot topic issue we aim to address here. Leo said, do you drink Bang energy drinks like every other wrestler? I don't like Bang because it has the creatine in it, and I feel like it bloats me. It doesn't vibe well with my stomach or anything. So I pretty much will drink any other one. Revenge said, is it true that heels prefer French toast over pancakes and waffles? I only have eggs Benedict. And no matter what I order, no matter what I point to on the menu, if I say a stack of flapjacks, please, I expect you to bring me back eggs Benedict. Sean said, what if I watch RJ stream while doing CrossFit? Is it a cult then? Well, you're already in one because you're a member. So you might as well be a part of other cults too. They'll be like sister cults. Bill said, David Arquette's new shirt. It's David Arquette, 257. David Arquette is a victim of love. David said, poutine or never poutine? Never poutine. It's horrible and it's disgusting and will cause me to squat more than I want to. SM said, Bill, I was just thinking the same thing about 257. It's our 316. Leo said, bang, also has the creepiest CEO I've ever seen. And CEOs are often creepy. Yes, they are. Chief Executive Officer. How could you even want that title as a human being? It's too much. You'll have to have an ego to be a CEO. You have to. Val said, pancakes are the way to go. Dixie said, RJ, no pancakes. I do love pancakes. I feel like somebody asks me at least once a month, pancakes or waffles, and I always go with pancakes. They're so much better in almost every regard. Nail said, the David song was awesome. Nails is a big fan of my work. And also, if you do see any GIFs of me on Twitter, most of the time, they're from Nails, who's done a tremendous job. Michael Liddy said, Bob Newhart, thoughts? Are you talking about the show or the man? The man I love. The show, not so much. Wait, are we talking about Newhart or the Bob Newhart show? He had two shows that were equally vaguely named after him. The first one is obviously the better one. But the second one, the fact that it's tied all the way back to the first one is pretty tremendous. So as a person, as a comedian, very mild, understated, not in your face looking for attention, but tremendous nonetheless. Revenge said, will we get working out with RJ videos a la Jane Fonda exercise videos? There's actually this wonderful Regis workout video that I want to get cracking on because I want to get in Reg shape. Leo said, I find pancakes messy to make. Waffles, I find less trouble. Yeah, but if you have a waffle maker, that's also a pain in the ass. Pancakes, I think you just need to get better at them, Leo. I think the fault is on you. Dixie said, pancakes are the best. David said, I feel like in real life, I've been a victim of love. I feel like I've been a victim of Bryan Adams. Katie said, buy David some crepes, you cheap. Oh, God, I hate crepes. And I hate, crepes are so breakfast food, but even then, a continental breakfast to me, they're so fucking cheap. And what also bothers me is when people try to turn crepes into a lunch thing. They're like, oh, have a chicken crepe, chicken and hummus. I'm like, fuck you. I'm not putting hummus on pancakes. Leave these poor crepes alone. They're like a light, delicate breakfast food. And then everyone has to go crazy. They have to mass produce this shit and open up crepe stores that only make shit with crepes. And it's like, sometimes you wonder all these businesses close. It's like, you fucking thought you could sell just crepes? There was that much of a demand for you? David said, RJ, if you had a hidden camera show, what kind would it be? I hack your security camera footage and I do commentary over it. That's what it would be. Be Smile, you're on David Arquette's camera. You're the star today. Smile. I've hacked your security camera footage. There's David. He seems to be making eggs. No, he's just up. No one's around, and he's crushing the eggs with his bare hands because he wants to feel like a very strong man and not a victim of love. Neil said, a great show would be David and RJ in various ridiculous outfits, going to ridiculous auditions like to be hot dog salespeople and such. We're working on it, are we? I don't know. You're real clowns here. Optimus said, RJ, your thoughts on avocado toast? It's okay. It shouldn't be a thing. It's not good enough to be a thing, but it's okay. Ty said, RJ is triggered. Yeah, I got triggered. I got crepe triggered. Panda's grandma said, buy him a pack of the cold industrial crepes that taste like sugar and sadness. Christopher said, do not come to Japan. It is crepe stores galore. It's crepomania over there. Dixie does not like crepes either. Thank you. David said, there is a great Swedish pancake mix that is very much like crepes, but better. Well, thank you for fucking making them for me. How many times have I had breakfast at the house? I haven't had any of this Swedish crepe shit. It's an outrage. And you still owe me for the crab legs. I don't care how well your documentary's doing. It might be fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, but it is stale as far as the crab legs are concerned. Revenge said, are you more of a Cher or Bette Midler? I'm more of a Bette Midler. Katie said, have you eaten at Le Crepe? No, I haven't. After visiting Speaker's Corner. Oh my God, I love Speaker's Corner. My mom did a video one time and years ago. I mean, she's like, oh yeah, and I went and I said the city sucks and what, and then it never made it. David said, you demand a Cobb salad. I take either hot dogs or crepes. That's why you're in such good shape. That's why you always get a clean bill of health. Sir, you're eating too many hot dogs and crepes. Anyway, Bill said, does David owe me $10 to him? No, he knows he owes me his career at this point, because he certainly wasn't getting any traction in those Bryan Adams music videos. Anyway, a final look at this hip Armani thing. Thank you for paying attention. I'm off to do a show where I'm not going to wrestle in the rain. Story of my life. Godspeed and God bless. Oh, look at this squat. I'm going all the way down. Look at this guy.